This book needs no introduction. Like, I love her. She's so funny. I cannot miss Rebecca Yarros. My life's mission is now to get people to read this book. Hello bookish people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan and today's video is the day. It is finally the day we are reading Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Chances are you have seen this book before. This book needs no introduction. You've seen it all over your booktok and your bookstagram and your booktube. Like, this book is literally everywhere. Everybody is reading it right now. I have severe FOMO, so like we're gonna be reading this entire book today. I have been so busy. It's like been hard for me to sit down and really like physically read a book, but this book has been everywhere. So I'm like, I have to read it. So I blocked off this entire day dedicated to a reading and vlogging in this book. So I am super excited. We are going to read it. This is a romance fantasy book and it takes place in a war college where there's dragon riders. That is all I know about it. And everyone says like this book boyfriend in this book is the top tier book boyfriend. So I am so excited. I'm ready. I have my water bottle. It is full. I have my Starbucks coffee. It is not full, but we are ready to go. We are ready to read this book. I don't think I have ever read over, Cooper almost just took down my lights. I have never read over 500 pages in one entire day. So we're gonna see if this is even possible for me to do. I know for other people, yeah, it's so possible to read 500 pages in one day. For me, Megan, me, myself, I don't know that I can do it, but we're gonna try. We're gonna put on the Harry Potter ambiance music because that is my go-to for reading, and we're gonna get immersed in the world, and I will update you guys throughout the day. So I just finished chapter 1. I'm only 20 pages into the book and my jaws like already went like this. Like I was reading chapter 1 and I was like the ending of chapter 1. I was like, how am I already feeling things? How am I already so invested and like shocked? Like, it's one chapter, it's 20 freaking pages, but I was already like shocked by the ending of the chapter and I'm like, oh my god, book's gonna be so good. I am so excited for it. Also, I want to make one comment like on the lighting. Like, yes, like the lighting sucks in here, but that's not going to change this video. It's just, this is how it is. But coming soon, I'm like, Storm's like pushing me. He's like, bitch, get away from me. He's like sleeping right here. Anyway, I'm literally facing this way because I have one tiny window in my library, so I'm facing this way to like get good lighting. But what I want to say is I'm moving my library into our other guest room in the house. We have like we have a 4-bedroom house. One's my office, one's my library, one's a guest room. I'm swapping the guest room and the library because the guest room has like this huge open window. So I'm gonna put my library in there so I actually can have like decent natural lighting instead of this tiny window. Okay, so right now I'm on page 63 and our main character, she's so funny. So they're about to start combat training and this is what she says. The guys are mostly shirtless because they think their shirts give their opponent something to grab onto. Personally, I'm not arguing with their logic, just enjoying the view. Respectfully, of course. Like, I love her. She's so funny. This book is so good. I really love our main character because, like, even though she, like, is weak in a sense compared to all the other, like, people in this wing of the, like, college, she's also, like, is really strong, like, mentally. She's, like, still a badass, and I really like that. It's like, okay, like, yeah, you aren't the same as them physically, but like you're still a badass and you're still strong in your own ways. And I'm really liking all the characters so far. This novel is super gripping. Like, I have been, like, my eyes have been glued to the page. I am not as far in the book as I would like to be at this point in the day, but it's not because like I'm not enjoying it and I'm like getting bored or like looking off. It's more just because like, yeah, I'm reading kind of slower because I'm just enjoying it. There's already like foreshadowing in here that I'm excited to see where the plot goes from here. But I have a feeling it's gonna get crazy, so I'm excited. Okay, honestly, it's almost 7 p.m. I'm only on page 228, so like we're not finishing it today. Like, it was a nice thought, it was a nice theory, but like today we performed an experiment. Can Megan read 500 pages in one day? And what we came down to is no, she cannot. I'm on page 228. I'm on chapter 19, and chapter 19 is literally everything. I'm obsessed with it. They're talking about, okay, there's something that happens, and I'm not gonna say because this is a spoiler-free vlog, and this is like a spoiler, but I'm gonna read you a line from it so you just don't know the context of the line, but like the line is worth it, okay? And it goes, point taken. Not that we're a couple. Not that I wouldn't climb the man like a tree if presented with the right set of circumstances. I love this girl. Like, her inner monologue is everything. It's like serious. There's fantasy, but like also she provides such humor in the book as well. And I am living for all these characters. I love them so much. And honestly, the pacing of this book is going really well. I don't want to get into spoilers, but something that I thought was going to happen in the book like way later on, because I didn't really go read super detailed into the synopsis before reading this. So like as we're like learning what's going on in the college and stuff, like rituals and things that take place in the college, I thought were gonna happen like at the end of the year, right? And those are things that are gonna happen at the end of the book, but they're happening within the first half of the book. So like the pacing of this book is really fast. There's a lot of action happening, and I'm just loving it so far. So yeah, I'm super excited. We're gonna keep reading. And I took off my makeup because I kept trying to film like clips of like me reacting to things, but I just was hating the way my makeup was looking. Like, it was looking so cakey, and I was like, let's just be a natural girl today. So I just took it off so I can finally give you guys an update. Good morning, everybody. This Celsius is much needed this morning. It's the watermelon flavor. It's superior. If you don't like it, I don't know what's going on with you. But it is the next morning. I am here continuing my journey of reading Fourth Ring by Rebecca Yarros. Last night I got up to page 302, which means we have about 200 pages left of this book. I wanted to read it in one day. So if we're going by 24-hour standards, right now it is 7:54. So I have about 2.5 hours, because I started reading this around 10:30 yesterday, so I have about like 2.5 hours to read 200 pages to complete it in 24 hours. Now, am I going to complete this book in the next 2.5 hours? I don't really know, and I don't really think so, just based on my reading speed yesterday. And it's so funny because recently I read Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams for a Reading Top Trending Books on Goodreads video, and that book, I binged it an entire day, and I didn't even like purposely mean to do it. I just did it. That book was over 300 pages. Like, why did it take me like a few hours to read those 300 pages versus this 300 pages I read yesterday? It took me literally all day. And I've come down to the conclusion, because it was a romance, it was a contemporary romance, it's fun, it takes place in the real world, it's just like, it's stuff I'm already accustomed to. Like, you know, there's no like world building involved. It's just like, oh, hot guy, we meet at a restaurant, and then I'm a florist and you're a bodyguard, and there's like, you're sexy, I'm hot, let's make out and we fall in love. Like, you know what I mean? It's like so easy to read. And not that this is not easy to read, but there's a lot of like world building in here. Like, obviously there's like a lot of terminology that is specific to the world it's set in. So it's like brand new to me words like Navarre and like all these other like words that they have, and then like the dragons, and then like the politics of the like things going on in here. I'm sorry, I'm not well read, okay? It is 8 o'clock in the morning. I mean, well read, well spoken. It is 8 o'clock in the morning, so whatever. Yeah, so like all of that, I think is why it took me so long to read it, is because like I was like absorbing, and there's so much like learning that goes into a fantasy book versus like me binging a romance in a day. Like, there's not much learning involved. It's like mind off, vibes only. This here is like no, mind on. Like, you gotta learn, but you also get the vibes. And oh my god, I'm absolutely loving this book so far. So like, I'm just waking up. Here are my fresh thoughts. First of all, I freaking love Violet and Xaden. They are so cute together. Like, every scene that they are in together, like, it just, there's so much angst there, and I'm just like, oh my god, just get together. And just like, oh my god, I love Xaden so much, and like everything he says to her, like, I'm obsessed with. I read you guys a few lines yesterday of like the things that are going on in Violet's inner monologue, and the dragons in this book they're so funny. Like, I absolutely love the dragons. They're like my favorite characters because they're so sassy and they have such a personality, and I really love that. And it's like, okay, it's like a serious fantasy setting, right? There's like a lot of death going on in this book, but then there's also like a lot of humor injected into the book as well, and then you have the hot spicy romance as well. Not that I've gotten to any spice yet, but like they just give off spicy vibes, you know what I mean? Like, the sexual tension between these characters just being in the same room is like unreal, unmatched, unparalleled. So yeah, I'm just really enjoying this book so far. I definitely see why it's worth the hype. I would say up to the 300 page point, I'm like, oh yeah, like that. Even in the first 100 pages, like, oh yeah, this is a 5-star read. There has to be something that goes extremely wrong, or like a final twist or bliss. Did I say twist or bliss? Like, what am I doing? There has to be like a final twist or whatever that I truly hate to rate this anything other than 5 stars, because like so far it is amazing. The writing, the world, the characters, the plot, like the pacing, just like everything about it. Like I cannot tell you one like thing I dislike about this book. Obviously there's characters in this book that I do not like, but they're written to be not liked. For example, Jack, where you don't really like him. Like his other 3 band of idiots that happened during the trenching, like obviously don't like those guys, but like you're supposed to not like them. Like her mom is kind of like, at first you're kind of like, oh, her mom is like an asshole, right? Because she's like forcing her like weak daughter to go into the dragon riding unit. But then like once you see her like thriving and succeeding within the dragon riding unit, you're like, wait, is it like her mom really an asshole, or just did nobody believe in her but her mom? Oh my god, you can literally see Storm jumping up there. He's like, let me in, bitch. But yeah, so far really enjoying it, and I already pre-ordered the sequel, Iron Flame. Already on pre-order, and the reason is because the sprayed edges for this one I know sold out super quickly and nobody can get their hands on them anymore, and I was like scared. I didn't know if like you can see jumping. I didn't know if Iron Flame, that they were gonna just like make a set like number of like sprayed edge books. I assume they're gonna do sprayed edges for Iron Flame, and like I didn't know, like, are they gonna just like a set number, and if they sell on pre-order then they sell out, or is it like however many that gets pre-ordered they'll just make those? Like I didn't know how it was gonna work, but like I needed a sprayed edge edition, so I already pre-ordered Iron Flame, even though I haven't finished this one. Violet's mother is so terrible. I was literally like, oh, she's the only one who truly believed in her daughter. No, she's still a terrible person. Like, yes, she forced her daughter into this path and she's recognizing her true self, but like, no, the mom's still a terrible person. I cannot stand this lady. I'm back to read you more lines from the book with absolutely no context because this is a spoiler-free vlog. But Violet, her best friend Rhiannon, which I just call her Rihanna, like the whole book. I just been reading her name is Rihanna. That is her name. I'm officially changing it because the spelling's just too similar. And I love her and I love Rihanna, so like they're the same person. Okay, so she says to her, I just can't figure out if it's the opposites attract partnership that has you two bearing claws, or the slow lethal burn of scalding sexual tension. Bitch, it is both, and it is beautiful, and we are loving it. It's official. We have 100 pages left. Page 430 has me fucking gasping. Go read this book. Like, it's a new release. It's so hyped up on TikTok. Everybody like, is it worth the hype? Like, yes, it is worth the hype. Go fucking read it. I have 20 pages till I hit 450, and then I think I'm gonna do like a sped up, like I'll film myself like reading the last 50 pages because I feel like things are gonna get bananas. We are not even in the last 30 pages and I'm fucking bawling my eyes out. Like, this book is so good. This is the first book that's ever made me cry. Like, I've genuinely never cried from a book before, but like, holy shit. Like, I cannot. Miss Rebecca Yarros, like, why? I'm just like, why do you do these things? Like, what was the purpose of this? This was so unnecessary. I don't even know what to say. I just took a little break. I had to recompose myself, but I'm on chapter 37. I have 25 pages left in this book. So we're just gonna film my reaction. I might have to take a little break because my dogs are all back. So if Storm knocks on the window to come inside, then I'm gonna go get him. But like, I hope he doesn't, because I'm trying to be invested, immersed for the last 25 pages. And we'll just see what happens. Hopefully Miss Rebecca Yarros doesn't rip out my heart and stomp on it in the last 25 pages, but I don't necessarily trust her. So we'll just see what happens. Holy shit, like, it kind of crossed my mind, but like, holy shit, that doesn't mean I'm not shocked by it. Oh my god. This book, like this book. 5 stars. Obvious 5 stars. Can I rate it higher than that? Can I rate it like a 6 star, a 7 star, 8, like fucking 10 stars? Like, this book is everything. This is my new favorite book. It is. This is it. This is it. This is my new favorite book. Like, this has Unseated Trust of the Emerald Sea as my favorite fantasy book. Like, this is it. Go read it. Go read the fucking book right now. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Click off the vlog. Have I given my final thoughts yet? No. Will I? Yes. But like, stop what you're doing and go order this book. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm obsessed. I'm in love. This book is literally everything. Like, the hype, totally worth it. It deserves everything that this book is getting right now. All the hype, the sold out, this and that, the million TikToks about this book is so freaking worth it. Like, I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna go get the dogs from outside. I'm gonna compose myself, think of some thoughts, and give you final thoughts, final wrap up. But like, holy shit. Where is the second book, Rebecca Yarros? Like, she could have made us wait a whole year. Like, right? It's coming out in November. Like, it's already pre-ordered. Like, she could have made us wait a whole year, and she didn't. She's like, okay, like, I'll give you guys the sequel in November. But like, no, bitch, I need you to like release it next month, like tomorrow, actually, if you could. And this book is sitting on your TBR unread. What are you doing? Go read it. Like, my life's mission is now to get people to read this book because I'm utterly obsessed with this book. Like, I can't even stop thinking about it. Like, I have other videos I want to film, reading vlogs, but like, they're all so unimportant now. Like, my whole channel is now going to be Fourth Wing because I'm fucking obsessed. I cursed way too many times in this video, but like, I'm speechless. I'm gonna look at my dogs and gather my thoughts, and I'll be back with some final thoughts. Although these are not actually my final thoughts, I will be talking about this book probably in every video to come. So like, just final thoughts to end this vlog. And this is all I need after reading that book. Just the love of my puppy. That book was so good. Like, I can't even tell you. He's just like, he's been outside. He's like, I can't believe you left me outside for so long. It was only like less than 30 minutes, but it's Florida. It's hot. And then we have Storm right here who's coming to say hello. Hi, Storm. Okay. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm like focused on my dogs. I'm focused on my dogs. So yes, Fourth Wing, amazing. It was everything. Don't mind his incessant breathing. Cooper has calmed down. He's not like huffing and puffing so much anymore. So let's talk about the book. What I liked, what I didn't like about the book. Well, first, in the didn't like column, we'll just start with that. That's easy. Nothing. There's nothing I didn't like about this book. Even the characters I hate, like, you're supposed to hate them. So that's just more of a win for having her write characters you're supposed to dislike and truly viscerally dislike them. So like, you know, that's more of a win for Rebecca Yarros. That's not a dislike for the book at all. So now we move over to like column. There's so many things in this book that I like. Characters. I loved all the characters. I loved our main character. I love her love interest. I love Xaden so much. He is the best book boyfriend out of all the book boyfriends. I love him. Also, all the side characters, like, I love Rhiannon, who I call Rihanna. Love her so much. And I love, oh my God, Liam and what's his name? Ricoed? I forgot his name. It's gonna be here. Okay, like, I know like the spelling of it. It's like Ricoh or something, or R-I-D-O-C, Ridoc? I don't know. It's something with an R, something like that. I'll put it right here. Like, obsessed with him as well. Like, and just everybody, right? Like, I really love this. And honestly, let me just start out by saying I am not going to live in this world. Okay, like, I love this book. Do I want to be our main character, Violet? Of course I want to be her. Would I survive in this school? No, I would die on day one. Like, as soon as you had to walk across the parapet, like, I would be dead. So yeah, I would definitely not survive in this world, but like, I want to live there. It was just like, this book just had me transported. Maybe the ambiance music also helped me being transported, and I was just so invested in this book. There's never a point in this book where I was like bored at all. That goes to talk about the pacing, which is the next thing we'll go into. This book is super fast paced. It's action packed. Something's always happening and you're just never bored. I read this book like pretty much straight in the last 2 days, and my eyes were glued to the page. There's never a time where I took a break because like, oh, I don't feel like reading anymore. Oh, I'm bored. No, it was like, oh, it's 10 o'clock at night. I should probably go to sleep. Or like today, I just woke up and the first thing I wanted to do was start filming this vlog and reading this book because I just was like, I need more. So yeah, fantasy romance, I'm here for it. Give me fantasy romance Brex. I have ACOTAR staring at me right now. I have Throne of Glass staring at me right now. I have Crescent City staring at me right now, all unread. And now after reading like Krista Broadbent's book, I was like, oh, I kind of want to read Sarah J. Maas. And now after reading this one, I'm like, I really want to read Sarah J. Maas because I don't know anything about those books. I mean, I read the first Throne of Glass, but like ACOTAR, never read it. Crescent City, haven't read it, but I own them. And now I just feel like I'm in my fantasy romance era. Let's take advantage and let's binge one of those little series over there, because not little, they're huge series, but like, you know what I mean? Let's binge, because like I'm just so obsessed with this genre now, because like there's just nothing better than it, especially the romance end. Like I'm looking at my contemporary romance shelf and I just like want to throw them all away, because there's just nothing that can compare to a fantasy romance relationship, because it's just like there's so much like death, right? And that's what makes the relationship so good. It's like, I love you, if anything happens to you, if anybody touches you, like I will kill you. Like it's so life or death, and it just makes the romance so extreme, and that's what makes it so good, is the feelings are so extreme in them. And yeah, I'm just like, give me more fantasy romance in my life. Rebecca Yarros said on her TikTok that this series is plotted for 5 books. And oh my god, if this is just the beginning, if this is just setting up the world for the next 5 books, like I cannot even imagine what is to come in this series. What I really liked about this is like it kind of introduced you to the politics of the world without going too far into it. I'm sure we're gonna get more of that going into it. So I thought this was like a really good beginner book, right? Like introducing us to the world and everything that's happening. And we'll get more politics in the subsequent books to come. But like even in the little politics we did get here, like I was just so invested in just everything that was going on. And like the ending of the book definitely kind of took me by surprise. It did cross my mind at one point, but still when it happened, I was still like utterly shocked and like, oh my god. And it's very reminiscent of a movie that I love and I hold near and dear to my heart. So like, I'm not gonna say what movie that is because it will definitely give away the ending, but it does remind me of a movie that is based on a book adaptation that we all love so much. So yeah, I'm obsessed. I don't know what else to say other than go read this book. I think I already said that when I finished it. I was like, just like all I could say is go read this book. Just yeah, go read it, be part of the Fourth Wing community, because I just like can't believe I bought this book like 2 weeks ago and it's just been sitting on my floor. Like what the fuck was I doing? Like how was this book just sitting on my floor for like 2 weeks before I decided to pick it up and read it? I don't understand. Like how, like now that I've read it, I'm like what were you doing? And the very first time I saw it at Target and didn't buy it, like what was I doing? Like I don't understand. So if you are in any way like interested in this book based on the hype, just do it, just read it. It's only 500 pages and you will be so invested. Those 500 pages, they're gonna fly by, and then hey, hi, welcome to the Fourth Wing community, you'll be part of our community. Like what? This is gonna be a new Fourth Wing channel. Like this is not, like I think I said this in my thing, I was like, this is not my final thoughts on the book. Like, this book is about to be in every recommendation video I do. So like if you are like in any way don't like this book, like sorry, I'm gonna be talking about it nonstop because I'm utterly obsessed. The hype, it's worth it. Like guys, I just like can't get over the fact that this is the first book in a 5-book series and it was this good. Like I'm just shocked. I can't comprehend it. But I'm gonna go, because I feel like this vlog is gonna be long enough. And I will see you guys later. I don't even know what video I will see you next in, because like I can't even think of another book I want to read. Like I just want to go back and reread that, and just be back in that world, be back with my characters and just like experience it all over again. That's just what I want to do. So I'm not sure when I'll see you next, but I'll see you when I see you. Just kidding. I'm really trying to be good on posting every Sunday and Thursday, so subscribe down below. Bye.